My first adult relationship after high school was an unhealthy one. My ex was someone who valued loyalty, so much so that she didn't care about the character of the person she was loyal to. And in a similar way, she wanted me to be loyal to her, despite her character flaws. And I'm all for accepting flaws, being gracious, and allowing them to grow, as long as the person is working on them, right? It's harder to deal with flaws if they are causing conflicts in the relationship. And I'm sure you can imagine what it's like to build a relationship with someone who didn't want to work on their flaws. So we would have repeated conflicts because the root cause of the issue was the same. And this would happen over and over again. It's frustrating. I did my best to try and make it work. However, it did end after about a year and a half of being on and off. And my roommate, who was there to hear all my stories and my frustrations, who heard everything of what I was going through, he told me, no one can say you didn't try. And the important lesson I learned was love is not enough. See, on my end, I learned love to be action. That despite not feeling in love or loving in the moment, you could still demonstrate love as an action. I did my best to listen to her, to include humor in our arguments, to compromise to the best of my abilities, to put her needs first, especially when she's upset. And that sounds good and all, but I engaged in behaviors that I was not proud of, including lots of blame, criticism, and ultimatums towards the end of our relationship. And I'm not trying to bash on her. I honestly believe she was trying her best in her own way. I do think that she could have used the support of therapy. Honestly, that's the reason that we broke up. We were on and off. We broke up a few times, but before the last breakup, when we're getting back together, I said, I will only get back together if you agree to go to therapy. And she agreed. And so I'm like, okay, like I see a future, and she didn't go to therapy. And so still trying to be generous. I asked her, would you be willing to learn on your own, like whether it's communication skills or conflict management through like YouTube and stuff? Is that something that you'd be willing to do on your own time? And she agreed to that. I waited a month without bringing it up at all. Let it be, give her her own space and time. And after a month, I asked her, what have you been learning? Is there anything that you've been listening to or watching? And she sat there in silence. She didn't say anything, basically because she didn't do anything. And I even let that go. I was like, I'm willing to give it more time for her to figure that out on her own. However, in one of our conversations, the phrase that she said that I remember distinctly was, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship anymore. And that's all it took. I just walked away from there. And so, yes, love is not enough. Love requires action, and it requires both people to take action. And now, as a relationship coach, I support people to demonstrate love, especially when you're not feeling it. And some of the root causes can be self-esteem or something simple as you just never learned how to express yourself. And when I work with people, I am inspired by couples, two flawed individuals who are willing to demonstrate love for one another.